women activists in Ghana have declared war against child marriage and vowed to end it by 2030, according to UNICEF, although progress has been made in reducing the number of girls under 15 years who are married off. The practice still exists in some communities, especially in the northern regions of Ghana. A report by Ofuri Wadako.
In the West Mamprusa district in the northern region, a 12-year-old girl was given out to a middle-aged man, but she escaped twice until she was rescued and sent away from the community. This is a true life story of a young girl who would have become a child bride if not for timely intervention of Domestic Violence and Victim Unit (DOVSU) of the Ghana Police Service. Her dream of becoming a midwife has been fulfilled after she had access to education. However, many young girls have been married off in this community and beyond, where their rights have been violated and their dreams have been shattered.
Gloria aspires to become a midwife. Her motivation for becoming a midwife is that she's saying that because child marriage is prevalent in her community, when it comes to childbirth, they suffer. So she wants to go back to her community so she can support girls who are unfortunately married off early.
21% of girls in Ghana are married before they are 18, but rates can be as high as 39% in the northern part of the country. On average, 1 out of 4 girls in Ghana is married before their 18th birthday. These statistics from UNICEF show the worrying trends of child marriage across the world, which has necessitated the global call for action to eliminate child marriage by 2030. According to the Minister for Gender and Social Protection, Madam Otikwa Fisa-Jaba, young girls should be allowed to be girls who are empowered and educated to break the cycle of poverty.
Poverty is not an excuse to abuse anybody. Poverty is not an excuse not to send your child to school. Indeed, it is to your benefit to send your child to school to eradicate poverty.
In 2017, UNICEF Ghana commissioned an external formative assessment of strategies and approaches to address child marriage in the country. Recommendations have informed strategies on adolescent girls and are used for advocacy to address interrelated drivers of child marriage more holistically. For GBC 24, Ofuri Wadako reporting.
War on child marriages in Ghana intensifies as women activists vow to end by 2030. UNICEF and CDD urge government to increase district assembly common funds. And in Kenya, President Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga pledge for reconciliation. Hello, good evening. Welcome to News Tonight on GBC 24. My name is Shirley Annan. Some women activists in Ghana have declared war against child marriage and vow to end it by 2030, according to UNICEF, although progress has been made in reducing the number of girls under 15 years who are married off. The practice still exists in some communities, especially in the northern regions of Ghana. A report by Ofuri Wadako.
In the West Mamprusa district in the northern region, a 12-year-old girl was given out to a middle-aged man, but she escaped twice until she was rescued and sent away from the community. This is a true life story of a young girl who would have become a child bride if not for timely intervention of Domestic Violence and Victim Unit (DOVSU) of the Ghana Police Service. Her dream of becoming a midwife has been fulfilled after she had access to education. However, many young girls have been married off in this community and beyond, where their rights have been violated and their dreams have been shattered.
Gloria aspires to become a midwife. Her motivation for becoming a midwife is that she's saying that because child marriage is prevalent in her community. When it comes to childbirth, they suffer. So she wants to go back to her community so she can support girls who are unfortunately married off early.
21% of girls in Ghana are married before they are 18, but rates can be as high as 39% in the northern part of the country. On average, 1 out of 4 girls in Ghana is married before their 18th birthday. These statistics from UNICEF show the worrying trends of child marriage across the world, which has necessitated the global call for action to eliminate child marriage by 2030. According to the Minister for Gender and Social Protection, Madam Otikwa Fisa-Jaba, young girls should be allowed to be girls who are empowered and educated to break the cycle of poverty.
Poverty is not an excuse to abuse anybody. Poverty is not an excuse not to send your child to school. Indeed, it is to your benefit to send your child to school to eradicate poverty.
In 2017, UNICEF Ghana commissioned an external formative assessment of strategies and approaches to address child marriage in the country. Recommendations have informed strategies on adolescent girls and are used for advocacy to address interrelated drivers of child marriage more holistically. For GBC 24, Oferiwa Dako reporting.
The United Nations International Children's Agency Fund, UNICEF, and the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, have entreated government to consider increasing the District Assembly Common Fund. The two bodies contend that the current 5% of national revenue that goes to the districts is woefully inadequate. They are of the view that if the amount is increased, many districts will continue to remain underdeveloped. In 2014, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, and the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, launched a district league table to measure the level of development across all districts in the country. The table looks at performances in areas such as education, sanitation, health, security, and governance. While some districts have worked hard to improve with time, others continue to remain at the bottom. For example, while 190 districts managed to improve their score in 2017, the score for 26 others worsened. CDD and UNICEF think the District Assembly Common Fund is too meager, especially for such districts that cannot generate substantial revenue on their own to supplement the fund. The two bodies had a meeting with two committees of Parliament, the Committee on Local Government and that on Poverty Alleviation.
At the kind of allocation you are doing, if you do not change it, some districts will continue to remain at the very bottom and some will remain high. But we want all Ghanaians, wherever they live, should be having the same, if not about the same level of service delivery. So you should not say because I live in Gushegu, I should have poor resource allocation for my well-being.
The chairman of the Select Committee on Local Government, Mr. Benjamin Yeboah-Sechere, agreed to the proposal for increase of the Common Fund, but also argued that the progress or otherwise of a district has a lot to do with the competence of the district chief executive. He said any DCE who is not performing well ought to be replaced or sanctioned.
In as much as we are fighting that the thing should come up, government should increase the 5%. According to the law, it is the minimum, but they are just resorting to that side. I think maybe some policy makers are not giving them much because the little you are giving, we don't see what we are doing with it. I think it is better we ensure that the laws work. If you're a chief executive, politically we shouldn't protect you if you are doing the wrong thing. If we go through the district league table and on terms of sanitation, all the indicators you are not performing, we have to call you.
Parliament has approved a $39 million US loan agreement between the government of Ghana and the African Development Bank for the financing of the Savannah Zone Agricultural Productivity Improvement Project, SAPIP. The project, which is to be completed in December 2022, is under the government's Planting for Food and Jobs program.
The Savannah Zone Agricultural Productivity Improvement Project, SAPIP, is intended to help increase farmers' food and nutrition security, agriculture productivity, and enhance the creation and strengthening of agribusiness within the Savannah Zone. The project is estimated at $56.69 million. Out of this amount, the African Development Bank is expected to contribute $39.01 million, while the government of Ghana and the project beneficiaries are to contribute the remaining 31.1%. In accordance with Article 103 of the 1992 Constitution, the agreement was laid before Parliament and referred to the Select Committee on Finance. After deliberating on it, the committee recommended to the members of the House to approve the loan. This was the response from either side of the House.
It touched also on issues to do with irrigation, where villages would have the possibility to have construction of dams. So on this issue, I think is one of a national character. It's one of the kind that touches on poverty reduction. It is clear that I would have to rise to associate myself with it and call for the House to support it.
I am very pleased that the President has seen wisdom in the work done by the Savannah Agricultural Development Authority, because we're told that this document is emanating from the SADA Master Plan. But Mr. Speaker, once we are considering beneficiaries finding an amount of $6.2 million of external funding, that will create a major difficulty for this project.
We expect that for the first year of this project, some part of these funds will support the Planting for Food and Jobs program. And in that program, we subsidize seed and fertilizer. And that is the component that the private actors are supposed to contribute, because they are supposed to pay for half of the price of the input, whilst the government pays for the other half.
Using this facility to improve our soil fertility management is not enough. Overgrazing is one of the factors that causes soil infertility. And as we are using this facility to check soil fertility and those things, we must entreat upon the Ministry of Agriculture to take critical look at certain human activities that are causing soil infertility in our agricultural land seriously.
Earlier, the Deputy Majority Leader, Ms. Adjoa Safo, while reading the business statement, decried the habitual lateness of members to the chamber. The Speaker, Professor Mike Okwe, advised members to ensure that they first report for duty in the chamber before attending to other duties, since work in the chamber is more important.
Headquarters, popularly referred to as Kayaye, have received sanitary packages from the United Nations Population Fund. The items, referred to as dignity kits, were given to the young women to improve their personal hygiene.
The UNFPA programs aims at achieving universal access to sexual and reproductive health, promoting reproductive rights, and reducing maternal mortality. Priority is given to improving skill delivery, uptake of family planning, and quality maternal health care. As part of activities to mark the International Women's Day, UNFPA distributed dignity kits to the marginalized adolescent girls, also known as Kayaye, at the Agugloshi market in Accra. The UNFPA representative to Ghana, Mr. Niyi Ululape, said the gesture was necessary to promote hygiene and maintain self-dignity of the beneficiaries.
A woman wakes up in the morning, wants to go to have birth, but by virtue of poverty, they don't have soap. So we have in this package soap, we have toothpaste, we have sanitary pads, we have several things that we put together that we think that if they have it, they will be able to salvage and have basic dignity for the human being.
UNFPA also assists to improve the use of and access to HIV prevention services, particularly among the youth. The Ghana Health Service, as well as the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, PPAG, were at the gathering to offer free health screening to the Kayaye. A staff of Asha Polyclinic and Community Health Nurse in charge of Kayaye Health at Agbogbloshie, Mrs. Beatrice Idrisu, in an interview with GBC 24, said most of the Kayaye find it difficult to access health care because they have not enrolled onto the National Health Insurance Scheme. The Agbogbloshie Kayaye organizer, Lareba Ibrahim, expressed gratitude to the UNFPA and appealed to government and other stakeholders to put in measures to help reduce migration of adolescent girls from the north to the south of the country.
At Accra yesterday, Star Ghana brought together local women's groups to join the rest of the world to mark International Women's Day. This year's celebration is on the theme Press for Progress, and it is to encourage women to continue to fight for economic, political and social rights.
International Women's Day is celebrated across the world to recognize women for their role in society's development. The occasion is also to highlight the difficulties they face on gender and other fronts. As part of its contribution to the cause, Star Ghana, funded by the UK Aid, Danida and the EU, brought women in the Adan district together to celebrate the day. The women, made up of petty traders, salt miners and women clubs, marched through some streets of Adan to drum home the important role women play in society. At Edeba, speaker after speaker reiterated the need for women to aspire to higher heights and become self-reliant. Star Ghana representative, Madame Eunice Agbenyazi, said the fight for women's empowerment must be action-driven.
At Star Ghana, we stand with women and men fighting discrimination and injustices against women. Whether they are rural women dealing with inequities to resources for livelihoods, women traditional leaders overcoming obstacles to their recognition and authority, urban women organizing for change, or women who experience intersecting forms of discrimination.
The Adan East District Chief Executive, Mrs. Sarah Pobi, said government would continue to support women in their drive to achieve economic and social rights.
I'm empowering the people of Adan for the youth to enroll themselves in school, because the ladies are falling apart because they think there's nobody to help them. And I'm assigning the social welfare department to go on to educate the women, especially the mothers. In buying this cloth and things for funerals, we can stop that and save that little money that we have to help the children to attend school.
The celebration of International Women's Day has gathered more momentum each year.
The Japanese embassy in Ghana has supported 4 organizations in the country with $344,475 to provide social amenities for some communities across the country. A report by Winifred Ifun.
The Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Project GGHSP scheme is to directly assist grassroots level development projects. The maximum limit of a grant per project is 10 million yen, about $90,000. Eligible recipients are non-profit organizations and local authorities, but not individuals. One of the beneficiaries is the Central Municipal Assembly. The Assembly received a grant assistance of $88,986 for the construction of drains at Insufa Soutum. The Municipal Chief Executive, Dr. Emmanuel Lamte, received the money on the Assembly's behalf. Next was the Avatime Jemi Otoga Eco Tourism Society with a grant of $90,509 for the construction of Chief's Compound at Dededo in the Volta region. Life Care Ghana, an NGO, received $84,418 to construct a 6-unit classroom block at Dignafuru in the Wa municipality. Wasa Amenfi East District received a grant of $79,548 to construct mechanized boreholes to provide safe drinking water for 10 communities. The Japanese ambassador, Mr. Chitomu Himeno, said the gesture shows the commitment of Japan to support Ghana's development.
I'm looking forward to the fruits of the agreement, and I hope, I'm sure, you'll be all successful in implementing your wonderful project.
All projects are expected to be completed within a year of signing of the contract. For GBC 24, Winifred Ofum reporting.
The West African Examinations Council has held its 2017 WASEED Extension Awards to honor students who excelled during the examination. Jochebed Ajua Sutherland of Holy Child Senior High School in Cape Coast was adjudged the overall best student in Ghana and the overall best student in general science. The West African Examinations Council Distinction Awards is to honor candidates who distinguish themselves in the Council's national and international examination. Winners of these awards must obtain a minimum of 8 grade A1s, have a consistently impressive academic record throughout their academic life in school, obtain the required grades without the slightest hint of malpractice in the exams, as well as excel anywhere in the world, winning other laurels. The 2017 award winners competed with other colleagues in all 5 WAEC member countries: the Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone and Nigeria. During the 2017 competition, Ghana won the first, second and third positions at the international level out of a total number of 1,886,666. Miss Hazel Asantwa Kisidankwa of Ibri Girls Senior High School won the best student in business. Chris Delanyo Akutia of Achimota School won the best student in general arts. Rachel Ameni Kwating of Ibri Girls won the overall best student in Ghana, taking the 3rd position, while the 2nd overall best student in Ghana position went to Audrey Emefa Auti. Jochebed Ajua Sutherland of the Holy Child Senior High School in Cape Coast took the 1st position for the overall best student in Ghana and the best student in general science. For her prize, she would have a scholarship to cater for a tertiary education in Ghana and a laptop. Her school received 10,000 Ghana cedis and a plaque. The head of the National Office of WAEC, Reverend Sam Mai Olenu, advised students from visual arts and home economics programs to put in their best.
Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody coming from the visual arts and then the home economics programs. So we are encouraging them, those who are doing the visual arts and the home econs, to pull up their weight. We wish to exhort our candidates to focus on their studies and not to rely on fake question papers.
The registrar of WAEC, Dr. Iyi Awadai, urged them to continue their good work. The Minister for Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, encouraged the award winners to work hard in their next endeavors.
Be appreciative of your parents and teachers whose support has brought you this far. Above all, remember that your academic brilliance alone will not get you far in life. You need to have a strong moral base and be diligent in all you do, and the sky will be your limit.
The WASEED Distinction Awards ceremony for candidates is supported by the WAEC Endowment Fund, UMB, Family Health Hospital, and other financial institutions. There's more to come in this package. Please stay. The World Bank has called for a more active management to sustain Ghana's socio-economic development and poverty reduction efforts. This is as a result of findings of the Ghana Systematic Country Diagnostic (SCD) prepared by World Bank Group staff in close consultation with national authorities and other stakeholders.
The systematic country diagnostic is intended to become a reference point for client consultations on priorities for World Bank Group country engagement. It also aims at contributing to government's development planning process. The report indicates that Ghana is experiencing a decline in government effectiveness, complex economic management, important constraints for the private sector and a costly large public sector. This is part of the main pathways recommended by the Ghana Systematic Country Diagnostic Consultations report released by the Bretton Woods Institution. The report also shows that though the transition to a stable political and governance system in the early 1990s was a key factor for growth and poverty reduction, declining government and regulatory effectiveness since the 2000s is constraining future development. The senior economist, Poverty and Equity Global Practice, Africa Region, Madame Tomomi Tanaka, said the report findings would become a base for the World Bank's engagement for the future. She said governments should facilitate efficient service provision to enable the private sector lead the strategy to reduce poverty through job creation.
That means that people should get the education and skills that require them to get good jobs. The second is public goods provision, the government service. So the government effectiveness is one concern for us, that are they providing enough services? And we think that maybe it's not. The reason, one of the constraints, I think, is a revenue mobilization. If the government is not collecting tax revenues, not enough revenue, then how do they provide quality services? It's not just the access to services, but the quality of services.
An economist at the World Bank, Mr. Kwabena Jan Kwache, said increasing road density as well as improving electricity supply to deprived areas such as the Upper West and Northern regions can greatly reduce the incidence of poverty in those areas.
Naturally okay for, say, for example, agriculture to go down, but then total fertile productivity, which is efficiency, must go high so that other sectors like industry and services will also take over agriculture. Now, in the case of Ghana, in recent times, TFP is not really up. That means efficiency is still not high. So we have more people shifting from agriculture into other sectors, into low-earning jobs within services and industry. So this is actually very detrimental to the overall GDP growth. So there's the need to actually improve on the efficiency through, for example, higher education, skills training, so that we have more skills of these people that leave agriculture and also be able to contribute more to GDP growth in other sectors here.
The systematic country diagnostic serves as the basis for the World Bank Group's Country Partnership Framework, CPF. The CPF guides the World Bank Group's support to member countries.
The head of the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Korte, is doubtful of an ECOWAS single currency by 2020 as scheduled. According to him, the agenda of a single currency remains a dream, which will not see the light of day in the short term.
Deadlines for the implementation of an ECOWAS single currency have been missed in 2003, 2005, 2009 and 2015. This was largely due to the inability of Ghana, Nigeria, Gambia, Sierra Leone and Liberia to meet the convergence criteria such as single-digit inflation, fiscal deficit of not more than 4% and deficit financing of not more than 10%. At the 5th meeting of the Presidential Task Force on the ECOWAS Single Currency Program in Accra, it was agreed that member states who meet the convergence criteria can start the monetary union while the other countries join later. But the head of the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Korte, believes that no one ECOWAS country is in the position of meeting the convergence criteria anytime soon.
It's a dream we can pursue, but as whether we can realize it, I doubt whether in my lifetime we can realize that dream. Because if you look at Europe, when they were pursuing that, they had an anchor one country was like the anchor. Germany was the anchor. Germany had low inflation, had all the fundamentals that were strong. So it was able to pull the others and got them into a common currency and was able to manage them. Now let's look at West Africa. Which West African country can be the anchor? Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, which one? And also we also have the French factor, the Francophone factor.
According to the economics professor, the agenda of a single currency will remain a dream for a long while.
Our Tema correspondent Michael Deonu was in Ada in the Greater Accra region and followed Gladys Ahotoye, who sells coconut, a job dominated by men. This is Mrs. Gladys Ahotoye, a 40-year-old mother with 7 children. Gladys sells coconut and has been in the business for over 20 years. Ada is noted for salt winning, but she fell in love with the selling of coconut, and on a good day, she earns about 200 Ghana cedis. She sells each coconut for 1 cedi. Gladys says her husband used to go to sea, but now he's out of job, and this put a huge burden on her. Despite this, she has managed to send all her 7 children to school. The oldest, who is about 18 years old, has completed senior high school.